crossed a line with you?
You have to be specific.
I understand the bullying thing, and that's also crossing a line. Has someone... I mean, I'm going in a casting couch direction.
Yeah, sexually, no. Luckily, I've not had that situation. But I know why, because I had this conversation with my friend the other day, and she was like, do you ever think about why that's never happened with you? And I'm like, yeah, I do think that it could have almost happened, but my personality is a little intimidating. So they kind of get a little bit like, "Arey, iske saath nahi." Because she could talk. These kind of people, whether they're stars or not, in the end of the day, inherently, they're predators. Inherently. Let's be frank, right? Okay. They are.
You're saying it doesn't have to be a star?
It could be a star. It could be a non-star. It could be anybody. But what I'm trying to say is when they start to use sex as a way to bait you into work and to make you submissive, right? They are inherently predators here, right? So those predators, if you look at how their brain works, it's very interesting. They sniff out victims. They scan you and they know your personality and they know which one to use and which one not to use to protect themselves. Like if you're a predator and you're about to approach someone, you're not going to approach someone that has a certain personality trait that could get you in trouble. Right? You'll be very smart, you'll be calculative, and you're going to approach the vulnerable one, the desperate one, the one whose personality is a little bit meek and scared. Sometimes, not all the time, right? Sometimes they get it wrong, their calculation is wrong, and they approach the wrong one who exposes them and destroys their empire. That happens. But most of the time, they know who to approach. And I felt certain moments where I'm like, this person might, but then they back off because they're like, nah, not her. Her personality is a little bit scary. And I can see it. I talk a lot. You know, I come with a certain aura when you approach me. When I walk into a room, I've never given desperate vibes at all. I've been in situations where I've wanted work, but for example, initial days when I first came to India, in 2013, 14, I think it's 2013, my dates are all over the place, but there was somebody who tried to put me in this situation of, if you want this, then you have to do this, and kind of corner me and put me in this very scary situation where I panicked and I felt alone and I didn't know how to handle the situation. I don't have to go into detail about what happened, but I do remember some switch in my brain came and I was like, hey, listen, you think I really want this that bad? I don't. I'm here. It happens. Great. It doesn't happen. I go back to Canada. I didn't come from some village. I go back from Canada. I go back there. I go back to university and I'll go back and study law or study teaching and become a lawyer or a teacher. And what? This doesn't happen. So what? So when you suddenly do that, because when I did that, I suddenly felt that person was like, oh shit, she took the power away from me. Now what do? I can't dangle anything because she doesn't really want it. So they give up, right? That's the situation I was in. Obviously, whatever advice or whatever thing I'm telling you is based on my life experience. I don't know, other people have different life experiences and different notions about it, but this is my take about it. So afterwards, moving on in life, whenever I was in a situation like that or I felt like it's going to happen, I noticed people back off because they're like, her character, personality, who cannot handle it for sure. And then I've had friends who went through it, and those friends of mine are a little more shy, a little more reserved, a little more quiet. And I felt like those kind of predators must have thought that they were much more not easier, but it's more safer for them to do what they wanted to do with them. Yeah.